Hi everybody, this is Allison from Alley Cat Creations. How are you? Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, a connected dot, an epiphany, a mind explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, please consider supporting my work. All the links are at the bottom of the description of this channel. Alley Cat Creations211 is my website. You could see all types of artwork, gems, candles, and all kinds of things that I create. That's my portfolio. If you're interested in purchasing anything, I do everything privately. Please email me. That helps. I just went through a crazy day, so my brain's processing very slow. I also have channel memberships. For anybody who is interested in supporting this channel and myself, there is now 2 tiers. I just celebrated four years of this channel, pushing my way organically forward. And 4D gets 3D perks. The same thing with 3D, you get perks. Uh, you guys get emojis. You guys get free entries into raffles when I do hold them. 4D will get 2 raffle entries. 3D will get 1. And I do oracle card readings once a week for almost an hour plus, which is like a $40 value, and you're getting that 4 times. And the collective of memberships are really low right now. So you're really getting a semi-personal reading that is unmatched by the price. So it's really good. It's really good if you want to heal and get to know yourself a little bit more and explore some healing modalities. Get some advice from spirit because I channel. Um, 4D, I'm also gonna eventually, when my life slows down a little bit, focus on doing some really fun things like meditations and journaling and painting and stuff like that to help you with your subconscious, your shadow work, your ego death, your dark night of the souls, and all that stuff. So keep your eyes out, and if you're able to support me in that way, that is fantastic. Thank you so much. For those who already do, you guys are a blessing no matter what situation you're in. Um, I had a very, very long, messed up day. I got rear-ended, and thankfully the car is fine. It's just more of a nuisance than anything else with scratches, and um thankfully the bumper didn't fall off. I everybody solicits their opinions on what I should have or shouldn't have not done. I already had a bad day. It was long, it was obnoxious, and I just didn't want to prolong it. Right now, as I'm filming this, it's already past 9 o'clock. So I'm gonna be up all night probably. It is what it is. But I wanted to get a reading in because this is what I love to do. Um, this is my joy, and I hope to make it abundant full so that I don't have to work myself to the grave. Um, Midlife crisis. Many of you know and been there. I'm there. Um, Dana Radiance. I'm gonna read Reliance. I was gonna say more, but we're just gonna do the chapter. So this is chapter 17, I believe. I believe. I could double check. Yeah, this is chapter 17. Reliance. Quote, "Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that fleeth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee." End quote. Psalms. Amid the turmoil and unrest of present day conditions, in which all the inhabitants of the earth are finding old ideas, social conditions, forms of government, and conceptions of life turned topsy-turvy, as though in a seething cauldron of some witch's brew, there must be something fundamental to which we can turn for assurance and comfort, while we wait in patience for the ultimate adjustment. Such a fundamental basic principle, which is both the cause of the unrest and its ultimate cure, we therefore lay before you that its meaning may sink deep into your consciousness and give you the courage to face conditions quietly and act understandingly during this period of darkness and unrest, ere the new day fully dawns. For the world is not falling back into chaos, but it is in the transitional process of taking a most important and vital step on its path toward a perfected cosmos. This change is now transpiring before our eyes, and every awakened soul has his or her part and lot in its manifestation. All who are spiritually awakened have grasped this idea as a fundamental truth that there is a divine self within us, a spiritual superconsciousness, our individual ray of the Christ consciousness, which is inspiring our ideals, guiding our actions, and gradually purifying and perfecting even the atoms of our physical body, making it a glorious temple within and pleasing, if not beautiful without, a fit dwelling place for the Christ consciousness. From the experiences which the awakening of this understanding has brought, we have learned fearlessly to face our old life, knowing full well that the sun of righteousness, as it rises, will surely drink up the mists which have hidden the spiritual sun from us. Hence we can await in confident patience while the dense mists of misunderstanding and the dank vapors of selfishness that unfortunately befog the minds of mankind as a whole are being lifted and absorbed until all finally see the sun itself. As if it was happening, and it is happening right now. The world is simply passing over on a larger and grosser scale the same experiences which each of us who have reached a certain degree of spiritual enlightenment have passed over in miniature. In the individual, the desires and appetites of the lower self have each clamored for self-determination, self-expression, and independence. And before the soul has obtained peace and harmony, each has had to have its hearing and be taught that while each is right and proper in its own place and for its own purpose, all must learn to fulfill their own missions in such a way as to cooperate in harmony with the others, all working together under the guidance of the higher self for the good of the body as a whole. During this process, everything that will not work harmoniously, everything that rebels, that refuses to cooperate in a constructive way, every evil tendency through thought and desire had to be gathered together and cast into the burning for transmutation. This burning may be disappointment, discouragement, sickness, bereavement, poverty, or other soul-tying conditions, but after their transmutation, each shall yield its grain of gold. I sure hope so. I'm getting really tired of everything in my life getting destroyed, or everything I have like excitement over there's a shiv that the universe is testing me, but also trying to kill me. I could have been easily killed once again today. I'm tired of this. A bullet whizzing through my house, not my car. I mean, what else? Universe is trying to kill me. I'm convinced of it. But I recuse myself at this moment. While this was going on, we might seem to be preparing only a witch's brew, into which we have cast all the loathsome things hidden so long in the background and darkness of our life. All the things so wonderfully symbolized by the witches of Shakespeare's Macbeth. In the poisoned entrails throw, toad that under coldest stone, sweltered venom sleeping got, fillet of fenny snake, in the cauldron boil and bake, eye of newt and toe of frog, wool of bat and tongue of dog, adder's fork and blind worm's sting, lizard's leg, owlet's wing, for a charm a powerful trouble, like a hell broth boil and bubble. And these lower tendencies are not controlled and guided, but are left to the manipulation of the witches three. They gather together and brew and breed and bring forth greater and greater selfishness and evil, just as the witches of Macbeth sought from the brew of everything lonesome to bring forth a powerful spell of black magic potency. How much better, through reliance upon the fire of divine love, to brew a healing broth of divine realization that will purge us of all inharmony and evil. For under this pot we have lit not the fires of hatred, envy, and lust for power, seeking thus to gain either advantage or control over others, but the fire of divine love, that all that these things signify in our own nature may be transmuted, that out of even this seeming hell broth there may be decocted the pure elixir of divine love and wisdom. Having to some extent undertaken this task of purification and transmutation in our own life, we now called upon us to stand by and watch the bubbling of the brew, which the sisters three are today mixing in the pot of the world at large. For only we who have gathered in the upper chamber of the Christ consciousness can see that the glory of the Sun of Righteousness is already illumining our minds, melting the hardness of our hearts, opening our inner eyes and shedding its streams of healing, blessing upon wholesome and whoever so cometh in his name. Only thus can we face these dreaded sisters undismayed, who in this sense are what the world calls the three fates, who weave into the warp of destiny the woof of man's own creations, because we have proved to ourselves through the positive experience of realization that underneath all the outward confusion, there are reaching out the everlasting arms of divine love. We know that the angelic forces of light and truth are only waiting to cast into the cauldron when it has reached the point of boiling, where the mass is ready for transmutation, the philosopher's stone, which will transmute the entire mass into the pure gold of truth and injustice, peace and harmony and righteousness. Therefore, let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. Take fast hold of the hand of the Father, whose child thou art. Realize that not one sparrow shall fall to the ground without his knowing. From out the great womb of time, there come forth at definite periods certain cosmic forces, which, if there be those who can recognize them, correlate with them, and manifest them in their own personal lives, can be used to bring about a great advance for all humanity. There can thus help to purify and counteract the selfish and inharmonious forces created by humanity, which tend to prevent their manifestation. But if these cosmic forces are poured forth and there are no enlightened minds, loving hearts, and willing hands ready to receive them, they do not accomplish their mission. Hence are indrawn into their cosmic centers, there to await the next turn of the wheel of time. Such an outpouring is taking place in the world today. How can we make ourselves ready to receive and utilize it? The troublous times through which we are now passing in these overlapping last days of the old and new cycles were clearly referred to by Jesus, who, as the avatar for the Piscean age, the Alpha and Omega, left both a description of the conditions and directions for meeting them. He also left with us the Comforter, or the Divine Mother Principle, with the assurance that this wonderful love and comfort would abide with us even unto the end, and that during all the dark days so graphically foretold, it would bring all things to our remembrance whatsoever he had told us. And today we can feel the Comforter hovering over the world's chaos, drawing her children to her with invisible cords of love. And through the lips of many messengers, the words of comfort and the promises of safety that Jesus left with us are being called to our attention, and their memory poured out like refreshing dew. Sorry, guys, my brain is cray cray. How clearly we can trace present events, even prohibition, in the prophecy given in the first and second chapters of Joel. And those are chapters that all should study in these days. But fail not to know and understand that through all the dire calamities that are there foretold to come at the end of the age, there runs the most confronting promises of protection and deliverance for all who hearken unto the voice of the Lord, or who love the Lord, or who call upon him for protection. If we realize that the word Lord, as used in the Bible, means the great and divine law of good and or God's plan to bring to ultimate perfection all humanity, we will understand that to hearken to the voice of the Lord means carefully to know and work with the Lord or the law of good, realizing that all the underlying forces of evolution are working toward ultimate good, that to love the law is to live in a constant realization and obedience to the Christ consciousness, both within yourself and in the world, and to rest in the assurance of the divine indwelling, mighty I am presence and fear not. To call upon the name of the Lord means to ask continually for the great law to work through and guide you into that which is best for you, even in the little things of everyday life. In short, it means that during these trying times, especially, it will be only through understanding, obedience, love, and devotion that we will come safely through. No amount of mere calling, Lord, Lord, or talking about our religious principles can help us. Mere lip service will not avail, for that sort of outer religion and worship in the world is already tottering on its throne and will ultimately be cast down. The great law protecting love, the Lord of love and life, is manifesting more strongly and expressing more definitely, is gathering the children of the Father together for the utmost parts of the earth into the upper chamber of the higher consciousness and personal realization of the Christ within, even as a hen gathereth her chickens under her wings when danger impends. How then can we have all the wonderful promises fulfilled for us and make the great love our shield and buckler? How shall we be sure that we are not merely crying vainly outside the gates, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name have cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works, only to be turned away with the words, I never knew you? The answer is to recognize and correlate with the Christ within and absolutely rely upon him in all things. To all you who feel within the urgent desire for a higher life, a greater consciousness of the Christ within, whose hearts are torn by the widespread inharmony and suffering you see around you today, and who desire to help better the conditions of humanity, there comes as a guerdon of your soul's travail the assurance that within you is born the Christ consciousness, which is capable not only of guiding and protecting you, but of developing within you just those powers and forces which are necessary to bring to you everything needed for your betterment, your evolution, your ascension, that you may fulfill your part in the perfection of humanity as a whole. A guerdon, in one sense, is a reward, but in another sense, it is a necessary and inevitable result of sincere and persistent effort. The degree to which this guerdon is actually yours is determined by the efforts you make toward realization, the constant and persistent repetitions you make to your rational mind until it responds and realizes the seriousness of your convictions, and from there is reflected and acted upon by your subconscious mind of the reality of the I am consciousness within you and of its power to manifest in your outer life and carry you safely through the turmoil of present day conditions, if you will only act upon this knowledge and permit it to manifest. Someday into each heart, this realization will suddenly flash into flame. Some incident in our life may awaken it. Perhaps we may come close to the gates of death, and a glimpse of the glory will shine through and leave its inevitable imprint upon our consciousness. Perhaps some great and terrible sorrow may come upon us. We may lose some dear one, may suddenly have all our friends fail us, or our worldly possessions swept away. Then there will flash into our consciousness the thought that all such manifestations belong to the outer and transient phases of life, and that the only things really worth working for are the immortal realities of the inner life. They will no longer think in a vague way that we have within us the Christ light and life and love, but will say to ourselves, not only have I the Christ within me, but it is illuminating my intellect, warming my heart, vivifying my whole being, and radiating in streams of living power and irresistible constructive force. And I must not allow the mask of my personality to hide or impede it, but must make it express my real self, the Christ within. We should repeat this again and again until we have gained something of a realization of its truth, for it is far more than a matter of mere affirmation. It must be a realization or be made real to us. While the power of the Christ is within us, it is not ours consciously to use until we have realized it and endeavored to give it expression in guiding our daily life. For no matter how much we talk about it, nor how much we try to explain it, until through travail of soul, it is born in our consciousness and begins to bring forth in our life, it is not consciously consciously ours. I love my eyesight right now. But once the birth has taken place, once the realization has been obtained, we have touched a live wire. We are standing on the third rail, tapping a power which, if we permit it to manifest, will bring to us whatsoever is needed: protection, peace, poise, and plenty of mercies and joys. This protection will be against all that would interfere with our real life, the peace of duty well done, the poise of perfect balance of idealism and common sense, the poise that has not only said, not my will, but thine be done, but that has realized that the will of the Father is the ultimate perfection of all his children. The plenty will be that abundance of blessings promised to all who have gained the true understanding and obedience to the great law, hence no longer need the lesson of limitation. As long as we need them, limitations are a blessing, for only through the lessons thus learned will we empty the earthly vessels of our understanding and preserve personal will, that the golden vessels of our purified understanding may be filled with the abundance of blessings. Therefore, have faith in and rely upon the power of the Christ within to both protect us and to guide our daily life. If we listen continually for this guidance and obey, we will make ourself a center of peace, poise, and power in our environment, no matter what the outer conditions. Then we need fear not, for it shall not come nigh thee. This is like now. And sorry for my dyslexic moments. I had a very long day, and one that once again I escaped death. We're going through this right now. A lot of us are being initiated and tested. A lot of us are having lives and things ripped away from us so that we can focus on this inner life. But we also have to understand in the modern times that we have to balance the outer world and the inner world. For if we don't take care of ourselves, it reflects in our outer world, and the outer world has a lot of burdens that will impede on our inner world. So we kind of have to balance those things out, but it gives a true measure of why a lot of us are here, why we came to be the lighthouses in the dark, why some of us are infiltrating that dark, why we're going through all kinds of shadow initiation and things that are ripping our souls apart only to rebuild it to be better. I just don't like the process, not my soul's taking. And we each take our own individualistic journey. But my goodness, this was a phenomenal read, and one that I'm probably going to reread for my own self. I just did a TikTok. It's up. Just putting that out there. If you're on TikTok, follow me. It's my same handle everywhere, just about, besides Instagram. Next time we'll read about the great work. So stay tuned. I'm sorry that I'm not keeping on schedule. The life is pulling me in a million directions. The universe is trying to literally kill me. I'm trying to just keep myself alive, breathing, and in my purpose. That doesn't seem to want to be manifesting properly. But my contract is what it is, and it's not the kindest to many of us. But in the meantime, I hope all of you are having a blessed and beautiful day. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within, be the shoulders, be the lighthouse, seed your truths, light that path forward, and I hope to see you all in the next one. Check out my community tab for beautiful show coming in on Saturday. I'm going to be live with Janine from True Lens, or Turn the Page with Janine. I'm going to be live with her tomorrow at 6:15. I want to say it's Central. It could be Eastern. I'm not sure. But it's linked on my Craft and Stuff Live from the other day. So go check out that. Probably won't be having a video tomorrow because I'll be live and I don't know how long that's going to be. But just check it out. And it's going to be on quantum fields. So I'm really excited for this. Please have a blessed and beautiful day, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your support, your love, your abundance, and your aid and help. I really do appreciate it. And I'm sorry I'm like such a hot mess, dyslexic mess. I'm going to push through as much as possible when things do occur, when it's universe trying to take me out. I'm not afraid of death, but my gosh, I'm being tested. I don't know what to do anymore. So until the next time, guys, thank you for watching and bye for now.